So probably if you think about Salesforce, think about big companies and SFA and all that stuff, but we actually do a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to talk to you a bit about that. All right, let's start with this. Do you remember that when you had to go somewhere, the only thing you could do is get a yellow cab? So this absolutely ruled my life. It made me not go out for a drink after dinner because if it was somewhere where I couldn't get a cab, I didn't want to go. It made me change the way I did everything. It terrified my parents, who are getting older, who are turning 80 and are like immigrants and they love their driver's license. And they were like, we're going to be stuck without a driver's license. And now that's no longer a concern because there's an app for that. Yeah, my parents have a driver in their back pocket. There are 5 apps for that, in fact. And so what does this mean? Like, why do we care about this? What's the interesting lesson for a business to take a look at? And it really comes down to this idea of the do-it-for-me economy, right? We've seen, these are just a couple examples, but across the board, we've seen people taking ordinary experiences and changing them by providing exceptional service around them. So, Lux didn't change the way cars park. Still park the car the same way, you gotta drive it in, you gotta fit it in there. They just changed your experience around parking the car, right? And Munchery didn't change the way you eat food or you get food, or actually they did change the way you get it, but they changed the experience, right? And this is really what we've seen across the board from different companies that are differentiating. They do it on the consumer side a lot, right? Because consumers I sat at home yesterday and I was like, I'm not going out, it's raining. I Instacarted everything and made osabuco, right? Because I was like, I'm not leaving the house and I want to do this. So this notion that you can have everything brought to you is awesome. But you have to be careful, right? Because it's not a situation where you can just sell steak knives with your product and be like, hey, it cuts a can, $19.99, buy my stuff, see you later. That doesn't work anymore, right? So I'm going to talk to you guys about 3 things we've seen across the board at Desk and at Salesforce that have really changed the game for our small companies, our small B2B companies that are looking to do stuff. And it kind of focuses around this idea of what can companies that are providing solutions to other companies learn from the consumer world to change the experience, right? Because it's no longer good enough for me to have Instacart just in my personal life. I want Instacart in my business life, right? I want everything to be easy now. I'm spoiled. All right, first thing, connect your data. I bet you all think your data is pretty well connected, right? And you have a pretty good idea of what's going on with your customers. You're like, yeah, get on with it. I guarantee you, your data is not connected enough. I guarantee you don't have a good enough view of your customers. I guarantee you're missing stuff, and you're missing critical stuff. You're missing they're getting pissed off and they're going to attrit. You're missing that you're calling me Lulu instead of Leyla, right? You're missing that you sent me, which they do all day long, right? You're missing that you sent me an offer for this last week, and I didn't respond. You're missing information about me, and someone else isn't. And someone else is calling me Leyla, and they're not offering me the same offer, and they're not offering me the same experience. They're actually caring about me, and they're making me think, I don't want to talk to you. My name's not Lulu. I'm going to go talk to the person that calls me Leyla, right? Pretty simple stuff, but it's so critical, and you're not doing a good enough job. I know it. I know you're not, right? Because it's just, none of us are. It's something we constantly have to look at, but at every cycle. The next thing is, I run a customer support app. That's what Desk is. It's like an all-in-one, stand it up, customer support, off you go. So, we really have to think about how do we let support personnel deliver a personalized experience. I think this extends beyond support. I think this is true across your company, but let's start with support because they typically tend to be the first line. One size doesn't fit all in customer support, right? There's some people that want their question answered yes or no, get off the phone, leave me alone, right? There's some people that want to search a knowledge base all day long and only ask 1 or 2 questions. There's some people that want you to call them when you call, and they want you to say, hi, Leyla. You called 3 days ago. Everything okay? You need anything? How's your mom, right? So you need to know who's calling, and you need to be able to give your support reps the ability to shift how they act, depending on who they're talking to. Personality is important. People don't do businesses with business, right? Business doesn't even do business with business anymore. Wow, that was a lot of business. But you know what I'm saying? Businesses do want relationships. They want the company to be involved with them. They want the company to care. And even if you're 4 people, you can use tools like Desk, like Tatango, like all these tools to help you do a better job of understanding your customer and responding to them the way they want to be responded to. It's no longer the days of okay, let's sit down and write up our customer support policies. We're going to be open this long and that long. That has to happen. But much more importantly, what do we want customers to feel when they call, when they email, when they tweet, when they Facebook, when whatever? How do we want them to feel about the brand? And this is important in the glory days, and even more important when things are sucking, which they do sometimes, right? But if you have a relationship with your customers, they'll sit with you, they'll stand with you, they'll walk through it with you. All right, this is my third thing. And I love this because I think this really is such a huge shift in the way we do everything. But let support help you build your product, right? It seems really stupid, but I've been doing this for a long time. And I remember back in like the, gold CD, FTP days where we'd build product and we'd take it out a year later and the customer would be like, what's going on? And by the time we got it out, it was dated. And it was constantly like, focus group, focus group. Although I read this great thing in Time about Steve Jobs saying he didn't do any focus groups, which I thought was kind of funny. Not that I'm saying you should do that, but I thought it was interesting. But the idea is you have a living focus group, an actionable one. They actually care enough to write in. That means they're either really happy or really pissed. But one way or the other, you're going to find out stuff about your product, your company, your brand, your people, that's going to help you change the experience your customers have. And it's all, you have it. The data's in these customer support systems. You just have to go look at it. The crux of my talk has been about experience. I don't think this is any news. I firmly believe the lines of CRM have completely blurred, and what will emerge is, what's the experience you give your customers? Not what SFA tool, what customer support tool, none of that matters. How do you define your customer experience, and then how does the technology you choose make sure that you deliver on that? That's really the question you should be asking yourself, and who can help you get there fast enough. All right, that's it. Thank you very much.